name is Lina and I'm 28 years old now. And yes, I want to start a podcast. I am very nervous, but very excited to do this. Yes, I'm coming from northern Germany, but now I am in the middle of Germany in a little village. Here my boyfriend is studying, and yes, I have a lot of plus hours at my work, and so I have a little time off. Not really off. I do some work, but 4 hours a week. And so I have a lot of time this winter, and yes, start the podcast. Okay, now I am wearing a lovely cardigan by Marina Skua. She's English British designer, and yes, this is the Galdor cardigan, and I finished it 2 months ago maybe, yes, and I love it so much. I have a little problem. No, I don't used to speak English very much, but that is a challenge for me. Okay, yes. What yarn I use? Elbwolle is it called? It is a lovely project in the north of Germany. They collect the wool of some sheep there and spun it up to yarn. Yes, and it is very rustic, but I'm not so sensitive to wool. And yes, I have yes, the undyed color here is Altmark 2 in a lovely warm gray, and for the contrast color I dyed a skein up with red onion skins, and the color is so lovely, so good. I love a warm green so much. It is I don't know if you can see. I don't see myself. That might be a problem. We will see. This is, yes, greenish brown, and it is a little bit variegated. Some parts are greenish, and some parts are more on the brown side. Yes, and I knit the small size, the second, I guess. And this project you have to stick it in the middle and on both sides to adapt the sleeves here. And yes, it is a very easy shape, straight, and it had also straight sleeves. Yes, and what is very cool, you don't see the floats, they are attached under this fabric. You knit this way, and then a purl row, and then some more stockinette, and you attach it here. Yes, it looks so finished and very, very nice. And it's so warm. I can layer it on some other pullovers or as this a shirt, and yes, I love it. So I have recently finished some other objects. I want to show you twice. Okay. This one I finished in September. This is the Ranunculus. I have to block it today or tomorrow because this is gonna be a present for my mom. She and we have the same body size around and yes, I am very pleased with this garment. I want to take it for myself, but this color suits my mom so well, and when I cast it on, I think immediately that this color and this garment is very nice for her, and she turns this Sunday 60, and yes, I will give it to her. This is my first time making this garment. It is a pattern by Midori Hirose, and all the knitters make it. Sorry, there's some construction work. I hope that is not so loud. Yes, what yarn I used? I used an unspun yarn. Unspun 2104 is it called, by Raincloud and Sage. Ruth is a very nice woman, and she produces also sustainable yarn in Germany. She comes originally from Canada, and yes, it's rustic but soft, and I love to knit with it. First I want to hold it single, but I try it, and it looked so well, but when I come to the stockinette section, the fabric was so light that I thought it doesn't held up very well in the future, so I ripped it back and start again. And I held some purple mohair with it, some silk mohair that I have in my stash. Yes, the neckline is really small, really, and my mother has a big head, very big. So I hope it is okay. I make a tubular cast on, but not the regular way. I cast on the half stitch amount that is called for. Then I knit a row, purl a row, a flat, a knit a row, and then I take between the bar between the stitches on the provisional cast on. I how do you say it? I cast on, not I cast on. I take more stitches onto my needle. I pick up stitches. So I have 60 stitches or so, and then do the twisted ribbing. Yes. The next time I made it, I used the tutorial by Andrea Maui. I think so. Yes. But oh, this is the back. They look so similar because on the back and on the front are short rows to shape the neck, and it's a lovely shape. Yes. And I go down in needle size. I knit it with a 5 millimeter needle. Yes, and this I do for this I does for the first time. Here on the armholes, they are also short rows, German short rows, and the shaping of the arms is so quite nice. My elbow is covered in wool, and the opening leans not as here. It is like so. Here is much more fabric. Yes. Okay, and I do the recommended bind off, and yes, I knit it longer. I don't know. I think in the pattern you should knit after the yoke about 4 inches, but I think I knit 8 or so. Yes, 8 and a half inch. Yes, and the length is sits right on my hip. Yes, and on my mother's, hopefully. Okay, so this one I completed last week. This is the Nordiska from Caitlin Hunter, and I adore this. It is so drapey, and oh yes, I leave one end and I explain you why in a second. Yes, it is so nice. Okay, the yarn I used, I used this one. It is Kauni. Here it is made in Denmark, but I think it is Finnish wool. I can write it down in the info box. Yes, I bought it in my local yarn store in northern Germany, and it is a fingering wool, 100% wool. It is the band, and it is off-white gray, light gray. And the number is PP3, and these balls are very big. It weighs not 100 grams but 150, and it is very cheap. It costs 12 euros per 150 grams, and it is very natural wool. I love it. So as a contrast color I use my Elbwolle that I dyed with onion skins, red onion skins, and another contrast color. This one. It is from Wollentrein, from Jule. She's a fantastic human being. She dyes up wool. She naturally dyes wool. It is her BFL Mesham base in 4-ply. It is 400 meters per 100 grams, and the color is caramel. It is a warmish brown yellow with some orange flecks, because when you naturally dye wool there's some variegations in it. I try it this summer really often and liked it very much. Yes, it is a grounded and a wonderful process. It takes some time, but I really enjoy it. Yes. Okay, these ones are contrast colors. The contrast is on the low side, but I like it very much. I show it the color rack. Okay, yes, it was very interesting because it is a fingering, I used a fingering weight yarn, but it is knit up in a DK gauge. I think, 20 stitches per 10 centimeters, and so it is very drapey. I don't hit gauge really. I think at the most times I have 22 stitches per 10 centimeters, but it works out very well. I knit the size small, yes, and I go up a needle size and knit it in 3.75, and recommended was 3.5, I think. And the color work I knit in 4 millimeter, because I when I first started knitting, I knit very tight. It was no fun as a kid. And yes, I knit I knit English style, holding the yarn in my right hand, and it is sometimes a little bit tight, but it changes. Yes. The raglan detail is very nice. It is a 2x2 cable, and yes, the V-neck is also very nice. Here I go down some needle sizes to work the ribbing, because I want to cinch it in, and it worked out very well. I used a 2.75 millimeter needle to work the ribbing, but I don't use it at the hem on the body, and maybe you see it. It is a little bit flowy, and so I leave the tail because I want to see after blocking. Now it is blocked, whether it's hold this shaping, but I found it's okay, and before I blocked it, it rolls up, and now it's okay. Yes. I yes, I knit it longer. Caitlin, she does knit you 1 inch after splitting for sleeves, but I knit 5 inches, 10 centimeter longer, and also for the arms, and then begin with the color work. Yes, and in the color work I make one modification. I knit in the middle of this section here. I knit a row with the yellow instead of the green, and I find it looked very nice. And I also make yes, I make a mistake in the color work, but I leave it. Here you should knit this row twice, and I don't, but it's okay. Yes. Okay. Now I'm ready with this. I'm finished. I'm ready for something else. Okay. Yes, and my works in progress. I don't have that many yet. I have so much work in progresses in the late summer, and it overwhelmed me. I want to knit all the sweaters and cast on many things, but I finished my needles, and now I have not so much more. I make in the summer, I cast on in the summer the DRK Everyday Socks by Andrea Maury, and yes, they look so tiny, but actually they fit me very well. This ribbed sock is so nice on the foot. They hug the foot very nicely. And yes, I finished this on train when I drive here to my boyfriend, and cast on the second. I just make one row in ribbing. It's a toe up construction, and it uses a Fliegel heel method, and this one I like very much. I want to knit more socks. Last year I made several for family and friends, but this is actually my second own pair. I knit some in Mondim, but yes, I tried sock knitting sometimes, but it doesn't click for me, and last year I made socks with magic loop, and this goes so much faster. The DPNs are so fiddly, and I don't like it. But maybe I try it someone else, somewhere else. Okay, the wool. It is a mix of wool, polyamide, biodegradable polyamide, and hemp from Schoppelwolle. Admiral Hanf is it called, and it is for sure a summer wool. It feels like a summer wool. It is very strong, and it feels like plant fiber, but it is also raw, and yes, this wool I get also at my local yarn store, and I love this color. It is quite similar to the woolen twine color, but it is a little bit intense. Yes. Okay. On this I will work. I want to work. I will work the next time and get some socks for me. I want to also cast on some. I have done it in the future with some yarn double. So it is a DK weight sock. I knitted in 3.5 millimeter needles and 3 millimeter needles, and change the pattern. And yes, I have some sock wool in my stash or in my yarn collection, and also some alpaca wool, and I love feeling the actual wool, when wool is treated with superwash, or if in the yarn is some nylon, I don't feel it so much. It regulates the temperature not so well for me, and I can get really sweaty and yes, for socks and also for garments I like to use natural wool. Yes, we see I have some Mondim, and I also have some from Ruth from Rain, Cloud and Sage. She has a Nord base, and it is also some Texel wool in it. Oh, yes. Maybe I try that. Okay. Wow. Okay. The next work in progress. Yesterday I ripped it all back. It is. I started this morning a new one. This will get my little secret crop top by Jessie May, and this I need really one because I want to layer it, and yes, I want to have it on under my garments. And here I have this is all one skein, but I have moths. Oh, and they eat something from this wool, and now they are gone. But yes, it was very sad. Here are some. This is now in pieces, and this is some wool, some merino wool from Vera from Studio Solas. She's in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. Oh, in the nearby Amsterdam. And it is. She also naturally dyes wool. I am. Yes, these colors are so lovely. It is a brownish red. She dyed it with madder and walnuts, and there is a little bit variegation. Yes, it was very nice to see this fabric grows yesterday, or the day before yesterday I started, and I it was nearly finished, but I ran out of yarn. Yes. So for the I am between size 2 and 3, and I make size 3, but I have not enough yarn. You held the fingering yarn double to create a decay weight, and yes, it doesn't work out, and so I ripped it back where you so you knit a tube, and then you bind off the back and the stitches under the arms, and then you knit the front back and forth. And I ripped back the front and start to knit with one strand up from here. But then I have the fabric, it doesn't look good, of course, and now I knitted with only one strand because it was also very short. This tube was nearly 20 centimeters, and it was even shorter because it stretches this way and lost a little bit length, so it hipped up and it almost sits under my bust, and it was so not right. So yes, but I'm liking the fabric with only one strand in an opener gauge, and so I can wear it also in summer. Yes, and now I will try it. And my gauge is a little bit smaller if I knit just with one strand, but the fabric is also lighter and drapier, and I think maybe I knit one size up, a large, but I don't want it to be flattery on my body. I will think what I made. Yes, make what I make. Okay. Drink tea. It is so rainy today. Not rainy, but drizzly. And yes, it's a nice winter scene, but also there's some golden leaves around. Okay, I have made little notes, so I forget nothing. Okay, in the summer I have cast on my little yellow sweater by Andrea Mari. It is cardigan with a lace detail on the border here, and it is a very nice design. I like it very much, and I have a fantastic yarn from Vera from the Studio Solas. Yes, but it is a little bit a UFO, unfinished object, because okay, first I made the sleeves. Maybe I show you. In her sample, the sleeves are very fitted, and mine are not. I think Andrea has also a very tight gauge, and so I think my gauge was okay, but when I finished the sleeve, there are 2 more centimeters, and I like it. When I have a shirt under, it's nice, but I want to make it more fitted, I think. And here you see it is so a little big, and I have maybe I have, when I get sewn, I have not enough yarn. I have 300 grams of the BFL in the indigo color from Vera, and it's a very drapey yarn. BFL, blue-faced Leicester, is very drapey and very soft. It is so soft in comparison to the Kauni. Yes. And because of that, I want to be more fitted, so I can wear a shirt under without arms in the summer or so. Yes, and what holds me on is the ribbing of the body. I'm alternating skeins, not for the sleeves but for the body, because these ones, oopsala, some tangled. I think one of these is a little bit lighter, this one, and this a little bit darker, and I think you can tell it when I knit first with this one and then with the other one. Yes, and so I have struggles with casting on a large amount of stitches. Yes, I am counting 5 more and 4 less, and it's weird, very weird. Here I have 7 or 6 stitches too much, and I decreased them right after casting on here. Yes, and I don't like so much to knit ribbing, knit one, purl one, but here in my little secret top, it goes so fast. It is 1 by 1 ribbing for 1 inch, and then 3 by 3 ribbing the whole garment. And yes, it was so fast, but it's also a decay gauge, and yes, this is a fingering gauge. I think 26 or 28 stitches. And yes, I made the medium size, but if I rip it back and make it again, I modified it and I make the XS, I think, and now in the shoulder construction I must figure out something. But yes, I cast on for the medium size also for the body, but it was so big and it doesn't work out nearly, and so I ripped it back, and this is the size S, and I don't know, I think I ripped it back, but yes, when I would know I have enough yarn, then I would probably knit this body, but I'm not sure how. What do you thinking? I have 200 grams for the body and the yoke, and this is 1 skein of fingering rate. I don't know it. I don't think it is okay. Okay, maybe I will think about it. Yes, and I have it in a lovely project bag, also from Studio Solas, from Vera. It is eco-printed and it is so nice. I don't have project bags. I have this one's Jule bags from a Swedish cloth company, Wurzeliebe, and for since 10 years before now, I wear a lot of their clothes, and now I have these bags all laying around, and I use it for project bags and to help my projects by side and take them with me when I go by train or something else. But this one is so nice. I try eco printing myself in the summer, but it doesn't work out so lovely. And I think she uses here an iron bath or maybe an iron sink also, because it looks like the fabric is also dyed, not so the leaves here, but I don't know. Yes, this is her logo. I hope the camera focus. I don't see it, so naja. Okay. Another reason why I want to start a podcast is to share my design ideas with the world, and to share more, to bring me out in the world, or to share what I'm making and creating. And Lily from Untangled Yarns, I watched her podcast a while ago, and she say in every episode go out and share yourself, and it is so encouraging and so nice. And yes, she gave me a whoop, stups to do this. Okay, and now this is one thing that I made in September, October. It is inspired by the free mittens. That makes everyone in Nutiden yarn. Yes, and I lost one. This is the one that I have, and the other one I make in the train, very fast, because I need it for my work, because we have a so warm autumn, very warm. We have 22 degrees and sunshine, and then the temperature falls, and I need some hand warmers. And I work on a farmer's market. We have a place there and sell our salads and vegetables and fruits, and our garden or farm, and mostly a garden, is nearby, and yes, there I live also. And yes, I need my hands to touch the things, and they get very cold and wet, and I must dry them. I must dry them, because when your hands get wet, they get cold. Yes. So I make this. This is also made in Jule's fingering weight BFL Mason yarn, and I love them. So here, now I have one only. I make another one. So I make these. I cast on with a crochet hook 21 stitches and crochet one time around, and then I leave 7 stitches on the needle, on the knitting needle. I make them in 2.25, and then I increased on both sides here every other row. And this one is knit in garter stitch, so it's stretchy. And then I when I have 51 stitches, I join in the round with magic loop, and I also cast on 1 stitch, so I have 52 stitches. And then I knit a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. I knit a little bit in broken ribbed stitch. So you knit one, you purl one for one round, and then you knit around. And this 2 rounds I did 3 times, and then I go into a ribbing 3x1 rib until 10 centimeters, 12 centimeters, or until the length you want it. And then I use Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. It is so good. It's so stretchy, as the name said. And yes, bound off, and they are so nice. I'm very oft cold here on my wrist, and I can do everything because my hands are free. Yes, it's so sad that I lost the other one, but this makes this is no time to make. When I need them so badly, I am in the train from the middle of Germany to the northern Germany. I have 4 hours or so, and I knit this one. This one I have also before. So I think I can make it in a day. I should do it. Okay, and now I will share another project with you. I'm very excited about it. I started I start on another point of the story. In this summer, there was a yarn festival in Düsseldorf. This is my heimat, my home city, where I come from. Yes, and there was Frida and Laura, and Frida has a very interesting project. She makes wool yarn, and her yarn label looks so, and her yarn. This is rural yarn. It is a funny name combination. She makes this yarn with a shepherdess together. She washed all the fleeces and collect them, and it is a very interesting project. I am so interested in this. Yes, and it is Rhönschaf, the wool, and a little bit other breeds mixed in. But how I switched German and English. It's funny. I'm not used to speak English. I understand everything, most everything, but I'm not used to speak it. Okay. Yes, the wool is very, very rustic. It's definitive. Can you say it in English? It is a wool for an outer garment. But I love it so much. It is very oily, because there's so much oil from the spinning mill in it. And for my project I have in mind, I dye some up with natural dyes. I used madder to create this deep red. I want to achieve a brownish red, a deeper red like this from Studio Solas, but it is a little bit redisher, not so brown, but I like it. And yes, in Düsseldorf I am there with my mother and my aunt together, and my mom gifted me some for my project, and I achieved it very much. And yes, so when I have swatched and measured, and so first the project, I want to knit a coat, I want to design it, and I don't know if I can grade it, but I'm very interested in this, and I will try it. Yes, I want to knit a coat. It is so I'm very into it. Yes. Okay. When my boyfriend and I were in Sweden this September, I started to swatch and to do the math and yes, try something out. And I have no construction that I made before, which I use to make this coat. I let it grow from this point to this point, and I want to understand human bodies and how to cover it properly, and how I must knit to achieve a special shape, and it is so interesting. So I start with the back and the shoulders. I have this little motif knitted twice, and then I have picked up on the edge, cast on for the neck here, and knit short rows to create this shaping. And now I have knit down. I increased for the arms, and this was one skein. That was all I have. Bring with me to Sweden, so I must stop. And I do some math and checked that I have not enough yarn to make this project. So I reach out to Frida and get some more, and now I have probably enough to make a long coat. My idea is the coat should be fitted, but I want to wear pullover under it or a cardigan, and I want to do satin sleeves and no button band, but a nice big collar to cross it and pin it down. And then on the waist I want to do a colorwork part and cinch the coat in here on the back and then go out again. Yes. But yeah, I have first for this I need very much brain power, and maybe I make it a few weeks later, because I have one other project in mind that I want to finish until Christmas. It is a gift for my boyfriend, and yes. I hope it's not too hip hop. Without a red line. Can you say it? Yes. It's my first time doing this. Okay. But I'm very interesting to work on this again. Yeah. The idea have from another podcaster. I tell you about this thing, and then I will talk about a shift that I have in my knitting life a few days ago. And yes, first I will make for my boyfriend for Christmas the aftersoul sweater. It is a sweater for it is a big sweater. It has a dropped shoulder design, and here it has some color work. The pattern is by the designer, I hope I say it right, Wentje Roald. I think she's a Norwegian designer. Her other name is my writing Knit Netty. Yes, Knit Netty. The aftersole. And it is a traditional Norwegian motif with a star color work here, and it goes up here to the arms, and the arms are sticked, and I think the collar, no, the neck also, but I have no problem with sticking. Yes, and I want to use this one. It is a Thrive from Jule from Woolentwine. It is an unspun yarn. She made it. She collects some special sheep breeds in her area, and with the mill she designed this wool. She have this color and a lighter gray, but it's all sold out. But I think I read in her stories that she will bring it back soon, next year or so. And yes, in my original plan for this, I want to held it double and make a pattern from Andrea Maury. Oh, I don't know how which is called. It is a simple raglan cardigan with a big collar, which has some texture details. It is not so how do you say it? I don't see it very often, but I like it very much, and I have the pattern, and I will make it, but not in this wool. Maybe I have some left. I have 6 of these plates, and I want to make the aftersole held single, and I have some left of the yarn spun from Ruth. This yarn is a little bit softer. Oh no, it is similar. But now I think it is enough contrast for color work. I don't know. I love a saddle contrast, but this, I don't know. What do you think? I think it is okay. Yes, and the aftersole is knit in sport weight, I think, and so I want to help the yarn spun single to create a light fabric, and it's unfortunately very warm. Yes. Because the colorwork here up, it is then a double layer also, and when I have the double, it has been, oh, my grammar. There will be 4 layers, and it's a little bit heavy, I think. So this one I will cast on when I'm back from my mother's birthday. We go by car eventually. This Friday. Yes. Today is a Wednesday. The 16 November 16. Yes. What will I make next? I want to make socks for myself. I needed socks, but I want to knit the garments. Oh, but yes. And I will also knit my brother some socks. And he asked me for some plain socks, some vanilla socks. Okay, this is a question. I don't know why people call it vanilla socks. Some plain socks. You can write it me in the comment section? I don't know. Where comes the word vanilla sock? And yes, I understand it because I know what it means, but I don't know how it comes from. Yes. Socks, and I need some mittens. I make another one of these, and I will make some salvo mittens because I find them really nice, and I don't have some closed mittens. My grandma knit me some that I wear, but they are also fingerless, and yes, I need some closed ones, and I want to make me a hat. I knit lots of hats, but I gift them, and yes, the hat that I wear, it is over 10 years old, and it has a nice form. It has a nice construction, and I like how it looks on my face, and maybe I will try to replicate this. And I want to make a classic beanie also. Yes. Yeah. Now I want to talk a little bit about the shift that I experienced 3 days ago or so. In the last years, in the last months, I want to knit all the garments, and it makes me so fun, but I am so into it. I don't know if it's healthy. I don't know. I have some projects on the go, but knit only on one, and when it's finished, I get to the other one, and sometimes I cast on one thing and grab it when I finished another one. And yes, I don't feel like I am feeling I am controlled by my knitting law, if it sounds weird. And yes, it doesn't feel very good. I love knitting my whole life. I learned how to knit when I was a kid. My mother told me, and when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I make scarves, and it took so much time, but I'm very interested in. But I'm general, but I'm interested in all crafts. I was interested in all crafts. In my childhood, I switched to another one and do some felting and some crochet and some sewing and some drawing and all the things. And now, in my teen time, I knit a garment, a cardigan, and a dress, and some hats, and tried sock knitting, but it don't work. And it never fell down. I have something in my mind and on the needles constantly, but it was no priority at all. It makes fun. And in 2020, I live alone and started a new job. I started it 1 year ago, 2019. But yes, and there was the lockdown, and I did something, I don't know, and I searched for a tutorial to learn a technique, and then I found Inga from Knitting Traditions, who explained about her knitting, and I don't understood the concept of podcasting. I think, what are they doing? They talk about knitting, and then I found Lærke from Fiber Tales and was so in touch with her aesthetic. I don't know how to say it in English. Her artwork, her designing, and her photography and all the things, and yes, I knit her cardigan. I don't know. I will search for it. Yes. And then I couldn't stop knitting, and I learned so much. In the years before, I don't know what gauge is what, yarn weight is what technique of knitting I don't know it all, and I learned so much in the last 3 years. Yes, it inspires me a lot, and now I'm recording my first podcast. Yes. Now the shift I want to talk about. Yes, I don't really love to make gift knitting, to knit things for others, but I do it, and the way I choose my knitting was not so intentionally. I think about something. Oh, that's beautiful, I will make it. Or that's a technique I don't know, I will try it. And more of a, yes, it was more of a learning process. And then there are so much ideas of designs plopping up in my head, and this makes a lot, I don't know, it presses me down, the pressure to do it, or the need to do it, or yes, it was not so fun. And now for 3 days before today, it's changing. I think to make my boyfriend something for Christmas, and I saw this wonderful pullover and imagined me to knit him this, and it was so intentional, and I imagine me knitting the love in the garment, and it felt so right. And I have another thought in this time. I am in the train, I'm thinking, oh, what I will really need, what I should make, what I really need. And in my head there are hats, mittens, so a little secret top, and socks, of course. And now the other thought was what I want to make, or the garments. And this was very interesting, because I understand I can make the things that I really need on my own. And that was a very strong moment, and is a very strong reflection. And yes, it changes something in my relationship to knitting. And yes, I was also a little bit confused, because I am a human who is learning so much more, and I'm so curious about the world and want to know all the things I don't know. And I make very, very different things, and different topics are in my head, and I'm switching a lot. And for 3 years, when I begin really driving into knitting, deep driving into knitting, I see knitting, nothing else. And it was a feeling that I don't experience before. And I want to spezialisieren. I want to go deep in one topic and learn all about it. And I don't experience this feeling before, and I want to do this before, but there's no topic that is so inspiring for me that I want to focus on this topic. It is a little bit difficult for me to explain a situation that is going so deep and near my heart in English, because I don't have the words for it specifically. But I hope you know what I mean. Maybe you have experienced something else. I would really love to read it, what your relationship to knitting is, and if it changed sometimes. Yes. I watched recently a podcast, Knitting a Good Yarn with Carmen and Jacky. And Jacky is so kind, and Carmen of course also, but she's so intentionally, and her words that she uses are so, she's so present. It her being inspired me also very, very well. Yes. And maybe I think when we go through a change, many situations in life inspires us to do this change, or they are all from different points in our lives influence this change from different sides, and maybe this was one of them. Yes. Okay. I don't know how long I talk. I don't know if it's good sound and light quality. We will see. Yes, but I made it. Okay, so yes, and one thing I wanted to say. Um, the knitting community is special. In the last month, I want to. I I have reached out to some dyers and some um, designers and knitters, and yes, want to be in contact. And this is a very special community, as I say, and I want to be more involved and give something back. I watched some podcasts, and they give me so much joy in my life, and yes, so, and of course, learning to speak some English. Yes. Okay, the construction work is going on, so I leave you here and say goodbye, and hope we see us some next time. Have a lovely week. Ciao.